Now, I was looking at a platform where, yes, I can actualize this senatorial ambition and give maximum contribution. You know, I'm not going, oh, they say former governors go there to
retire. Yes,
no,
just to relax.
I have things I want to do. Let me just put this in proper perspective. Yes, the federal government is doing an engagement process. But in that engagement process, there's also a box of law and order. And what does that mean? We have the Joint Task Force. We have the various security agencies put in the Joint Task Force. When engagement doesn't work and there's a real threat, of course, the government must use its forces to try and deal with that threat. Yeah. But there's also a third box, which has not been very active. And that is the box that is with the lawmakers, a box of legislation. There are so many laws that have to be made that will help the federal government in its engagement processes. So many laws. Laws, okay, we are talking about security. We are relying more on the security agencies right now. But I tell you that the best security architecture for the challenges of the Niger Delta is an architecture that is community-based. Okay, with the community, leaders of the community, and of course the youth.
More like community policing, really.
Yes, more like a community policing. You know, I've been a proponent of community policing. Because when you have a facility that is in a particular community, and you give the protection of that facility to that community, they know that their daily bread is from that facility. They know that without that facility being properly protected, they will not live. So they protect it, they take it as their own, and they protect it. So the security architecture that I have in mind that have to come through the legislation is that architecture that is community-based. It's community-based. So the Senate or the National Assembly has to
join that process, yes, make that input.
Yes, that law. That is one. There are several, but I'll just give you a few examples. That is one. Two, petroleum industry bill has those challenges. They'll be broken down to, and what does it be? There's a component that is community, that has to do with community. That is 10% of the profit going to the community. You see, I said 10% of the profit. It does not mean that the communities own the facilities.
See, that's right.
But you see, what I'm going to propose in the Senate is community part ownership of the operations of that area. Now, since Shell, Chevron, Mobil came to Nigeria, if the communities had even just 2% or 5%, now what that means is that at the end of the year, when profit is made, 2% of that profit goes to the community. I tell you that since 1958 or so, that oil was, the Niger Delta would have been a different area.
Yes, because over that time they would have.
You know, and so one of the things I want to propose is community participation in the ownership of the industries in that area. You know, either the old one and the new one. And because, okay, people that have challenges, oh, that money, who will manage it, those are things that can be worked out.
Those are details.
Details. But the community must be made to own part of
the facilities that are extracting things from their area.
The third thing, there are a lot of environmental issues. There are a lot of environmental laws that you need to look at them again because they are not really protecting the environment of of those areas. One of the things that we'll have to look at is the issue of what we call the illegal refineries. You know?
Yes.
You know, some of our boys come together,
yes,
lay
their own pipes.
No, it's not even that one. They construct their own refinery. It's quite crude. I mean, it's quite crude. But you see, a lot of people are using what they are producing. And I keep saying that, look, there was a time in Nigeria where we said there was illicit gin. And people, they were producing gin.
And they were drinking it.
Oyibo came and said, oh, illicit, even arrested them, jailing them.
And then now replaced it with their own, which was almost the same thing.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The production of illicit gin is the same technology as the production of whiskey, whiskey, brandy. All they just do is to add some coloring
and packaging.
And then they are bringing it and we are buying it. So this technology for producing this illegal crude, illegal fuel, petrol or diesel, principally the same technology that our bigger refineries are using. So what do we do? But those bigger refineries are very expensive and they are becoming high-tech, so they don't employ too many people. Now let us look at the technology that those guys are using, refine it, and then give them crude legally. Unfortunately, I had a discussion with the Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Petroleum Technology in Efrun, in Uduaghan local government. And they're already working on it, the technology, to change the technology. But when I was in office, I propagated, let us do this. I met the minister then, they condemned it, they ran it down. I met some guys in Society of Petroleum Engineers. They said they were going to look into it, but we didn't follow it up. But if we have a law that says, okay, this thing has to be done, it will be done, we'll get proper refineries that are small, cheaper. Our boys can, 4 or 5 of them can come together, produce crude or produce fuel that is usable and environmentally friendly. But so we have a lot of laws that we have to look at. So I'm not going to the Senate to go and just sit down. I don't think it's also true that governors go there to retire. There are governors who were very active. Saraki was a governor now.
He's now Senate.
He's the Senate President. I think he's the most active person in the Senate.
There are a number of others who, in fact, chair very important committees as well.
Goje is been talking finance. Akpabio was minority leader. So there are governors who are active. Akume was. There are governors who are active, very active.
Now, I want to take you in another direction now, and you made mention of it. You alluded to it when you were talking about the issue of community policing and your advocacy in that direction. On a bigger scale, there is the whole argument for restructuring, of which this is a part, the issue of security architecture and all of that. What do you make of it? Because it seems as if, from the outside, looking in at them, different people have different ideas. And so far, the attempt that had been made to kind of synthesize those various views took place in 2014 at the National Conference. The APC, which you've now joined, also set up a committee to look at it. The recommendations that committee, which was led by Governor El Rufai of Kaduna, came up with, a lot of them were similar to what had been already decided at the 2014 conference. Now that you are in the ruling party, what's going to be your own position vis-a-vis this issue? Because it's not going to go away.
No. In fact, I was one of the first advocates of community policing. Because my father was in the police, and he was posted around our area. And in those days, he used to play draft a lot, So, and there are centers where they play draft. I knew that my father was gathering a lot of information. There was this department,
which was the intelligence,
because intelligence is the key to security. So in that place where he used to play drafts, he used to tell us, when we became bigger, that in that place where he used to play drafts, and they would be talking and talking, he was gathering his information. So by the next day, when he gets to the office, he's writing, this is likely to happen, and they pass it on, and they preempt
whatever it is that was negative that was going to happen.
You see, that is the kernel of community policing, being able to gather intelligence. It is easier for somebody who knows that area very well, to get involved. Apart from gathering intelligence, even the process of arrest and all that, if you are from the local and you are partial to a particular somebody who has committed crime, of course you have family, you have family, so you have to be fair.